In the farthest reaches of the galaxy, Princess Celia of the Shorian Empire stood at the command deck of her royal vessel, gazing out at the tiny blue world known as Earth. The mysterious planet shimmered against the backdrop of stars, a seemingly insignificant dot in the vastness of space. Celia's emerald eyes narrowed with curiosity and caution, her long silver hair flowing down the back of her regal armor. Earth had only recently caught the attention of the Galactic Council. The backwater world, once dismissed as primitive, now reports of its sudden military capabilities had startled the Shorian Empire. "Highness, are you sure we should proceed with this mission?" Commander Riken asked, his massive form towering over her. His armor, black and sleek, reflected the dim lights of the control room. His violet skin, a mark of his warrior caste, glistened under the strain of the unknown. Princess Celia didn't turn to face him. "It's my duty, Commander. The Council has sent me to assess Earth's threat. We cannot afford to be complacent." The Shorian Empire had long dominated the galaxy, either through diplomacy or, when necessary, force. Earth, however, was different. No one had suspected the humans would rise so quickly from obscurity. Celia, renowned for her diplomatic prowess, had been chosen to oversee Earth's peaceful surrender. Yet, as they neared the planet, a sense of unease gnawed at her. The ship's AI voice chimed in. "Entering Earth's orbit in 3 minutes. Prepare to establish communication with Earth's leaders," Celia commanded. Her voice was steady, but inside, doubts swirled. Earth had gone unnoticed for too long, and now the sudden interest made her uneasy. What could this planet be hiding? Lights flickered across the control panels as the transmission was sent. The message was simple. Earth was to submit to the Shorian Empire peacefully, or face the consequences. Celia braced herself for the typical resistance, but expected nothing too dramatic. After all, Earth's known technological status paled compared to the advanced civilizations she had encountered before. Seconds stretched into minutes, and no reply came. Celia's brows furrowed as she stared at the blank screen. "Odd," she muttered, her tone clipped. "Surely they wouldn't ignore us." Commander Riken's fingers hovered over his weapon's hilt. "Perhaps they think they can defy us." Before Celia could respond, the screen flickered to life, revealing the face of a human man, Commander Jason Cole of Earth's United Defense Fleet. His blue eyes gleamed with calm defiance as he stood tall in front of the camera. "Princess Celia of the Shorian Empire," Cole began, his voice steady, "we've received your message. Earth acknowledges your intentions, but we will not submit." The words hit Celia harder than she expected. Her gaze sharpened, disbelief flashing across her face. "Do you understand the consequences of defying the Shorian Empire?" she asked, her voice dangerously low. "We are offering you a peaceful integration, yet you dare refuse." Cole's expression didn't waver. "We are fully aware of what's at stake, Princess, but Earth values its independence. We won't bow to any empire, no matter how advanced." Silence filled the bridge, tension thick in the air. Celia turned to her crew, who were equally stunned. How could these humans, with their primitive technology and lack of galactic presence, stand so confidently against the Shorian Empire? "Commander," Celia said, trying to rein in her growing frustration, "scan the planet. I want to know what they're hiding." Her order was swiftly carried out, but the report came back as expected. Earth's defense systems were rudimentary, their technology nowhere near advanced enough to pose a real threat. "Minimal defenses," Riken confirmed, confusion evident in his voice. "Their cities are barely fortified." Celia tapped her chin, her thoughts racing. Why, then, did they sound so confident? Before she could respond, another transmission came in, this time from the Shorian Galactic Council. The screen flickered, and the stern face of Ambassador Kez appeared. His dark eyes fixed on Celia, his voice curt and authoritative. "Princess Celia, the Council has reviewed your situation. Earth's resistance cannot be tolerated. You are authorized to use force if necessary. Ensure Earth's compliance swiftly. Celia's fingers tightened around the armrest of her chair. Force. Against a planet that barely poses a threat. Kez's gaze was unyielding. The Council has spoken. Do what is required. The transmission ended abruptly, leaving Celia in tense silence. She exhaled slowly, her mind reeling. The Council was demanding swift action, but Celia couldn't shake the feeling that something about Earth was different. The humans were hiding something, and she intended to find out what. Prepare the fleet, she commanded, her voice firm but thoughtful. If Earth refuses to comply, we will give them no choice. As the Shorian ships moved into formation around Earth, Celia's eyes remained fixed on the blue planet below. She would uncover whatever secrets the humans were hiding. And if Earth truly posed a threat to the Empire, she would crush it, just as the Shorian Empire had done to countless worlds before. But deep in her heart, a question gnawed at her. What if this time, the Empire had underestimated their enemy? The Shorian fleet hovered ominously above Earth, their sleek silver vessels casting long shadows across the planet's surface. From orbit, Earth seemed peaceful, its oceans glittered under the sun, and its continents were dotted with bustling cities. But beneath the calm exterior, Princess Celia could sense a simmering tension. The humans hadn't responded to the Shorian Empire's ultimatum as expected. Instead of fear, they met her with defiance. Highness, the fleet is ready, Commander Riken reported, his tone steady but with a hint of anticipation. The warriors aboard the ships had fought in countless battles across the galaxy, but facing Earth felt different. The humans were an enigma, an unknown threat that disturbed the Empire's calculated dominance. Celia stood at the command deck, staring at the planet below. Hold your position, she ordered, her voice calm but commanding. She wasn't ready to engage just yet. There was something about the humans' confidence that troubled her. They didn't have the technology to defend against the Shorian fleet, so why weren't they surrendering? Suddenly, the ship's AI interrupted her thoughts. Incoming message from Earth's surface. Celia turned to the screen as Commander Jason Cole reappeared, his expression unchanged. There was no sign of panic or distress in his demeanor, only an unshakable resolve. His calmness unnerved Celia more than any battle-hardened foe. Princess Celia, Cole began, his voice firm. I hope you'll reconsider your course of action. Earth doesn't wish for war, but we will not be bullied into submission. Celia's eyes narrowed. You're outmatched, Commander. Your technology is centuries behind ours. Why continue to resist? Cole glanced to the side, as if weighing his words carefully. You see only what we've allowed you to see. Earth is more than just its visible defenses. We've been preparing for this moment for longer than you realize. Celia's heart skipped a beat. Preparing? For what? A faint smile tugged at Cole's lips. For you. Before Celia could react, alarms blared across the bridge. The ship shook violently as an unexpected energy surge rippled through the fleet. Celia stumbled, grabbing the armrest to steady herself. Report, she barked. Energy readings spiking from Earth's surface. One of her officers called out, his voice filled with disbelief. Unknown technology. It's targeting our ships. Celia's eyes widened as she glanced at the screen. Below, Earth's surface glowed with an eerie light. Cities across the planet seemed to be powering up massive energy generators, their true nature hidden from the Shorian Empire's scans. How is this possible? Commander Riken muttered, his hands clenched around his weapon. The readings made no sense. Earth's technology shouldn't have been capable of this. Celia's mind raced as she watched her fleet struggle to maintain control. Whatever the humans were using, it was far beyond what the Shorian Empire had anticipated. Cole's voice cut through the chaos. You thought we were weak because we chose to stay out of galactic affairs, but we've been watching, learning, adapting. Celia's frustration mounted. Do you think this will save you, Commander? Even with your hidden weapons, Earth stands no chance against the full might of the Shorian Empire. Cole's expression didn't change. Perhaps. But we won't go down without a fight. The transmission ended abruptly, and Celia clenched her fists. The humans had managed to surprise them, but this wasn't over. Far from it. Commander Riken, deploy the attack squadrons, Celia ordered. Target their energy sources. We'll dismantle whatever primitive defenses they've constructed. Riken nodded and swiftly relayed the order. The fleet adjusted its formation, and Jorian fighter ships shot toward the planet's surface in a coordinated assault. Their sleek, advanced craft moved with precision, each ship equipped with weapons capable of obliterating entire cities. But as the first wave of ships neared Earth, something unexpected happened. The planet's atmosphere shimmered, and strange distortions appeared in the sky. The Shorian fighters struggled to navigate through the anomalies, their systems faltering as if the very air had turned against them. Some kind of gravitational disruption. One of the pilots reported over the comms, panic creeping into his voice. Celia's eyes widened. Gravitational manipulation. That level of technology was unheard of for a planet as young as Earth. Yet, somehow, the humans had developed it. Pull them back, Celia shouted. Regroup the squadrons, but it was too late. The gravitational anomalies tore through the Shorian fighters, sending them spiraling out of control. One by one, the ships plummeted toward Earth's surface, their sleek frames crashing into the oceans and deserts below. Celia stared in disbelief. This wasn't possible. Earth shouldn't have had the capability to fight back like this. And yet, here they were, turning the tide of battle against one of the most powerful empires in the galaxy. We've underestimated them, Riken muttered, his face pale. How could this have happened? Celia's mind raced, trying to make sense of the situation. She couldn't afford to let emotions cloud her judgment. The humans had revealed their hidden strength, but the Shorian Empire had faced adversity before. They would adapt. They would conquer. We need to regroup, Celia said, her voice steady but firm. Pull back the fleet and reassess our strategy. This isn't over. As the fleet began to retreat from Earth's orbit, Celia cast one last glance at the planet below. The humans had shown their strength, but she was far from beaten. The Shorian Empire would return, and when they did, Earth would fall. But in the back of her mind, a troubling thought lingered. Had they truly underestimated the humans, or had Earth always been more dangerous than they realized? The Shorian fleet drifted just beyond Earth's atmosphere, regrouping after their unexpected defeat. Princess Celia stood at the command deck, watching the planet below with an icy gaze. The humans had shown more resilience than she anticipated. Earth's defense systems, though concealed, had wreaked havoc on her fleet. It was a tactical miscalculation that could not be repeated. Highness, our losses are substantial, Commander Riken reported, his voice tense. 57 fighter crafts destroyed, and several more damaged beyond repair. Celia clenched her fists. This was supposed to be a simple mission. How could we have overlooked Earth's capabilities? What else are they hiding? Riken shook his head. Our scans detected nothing advanced enough to suggest they possessed this level of technology. It's as if they've been deliberately concealing their true strength. Celia stared at the planet in silence. It was becoming clear that Earth wasn't just a backwater world on the edge of the galaxy. The humans had been biding their time, quietly preparing for the moment when they would be tested. But even more disturbing was their ability to do so without the Shorian Empire noticing. She turned to her intelligence officer, a sharp-eyed woman named Elia. I want a full analysis of Earth's technological advancements. No more surprises. Elia nodded. Understood, Highness. We'll dissect everything we know about their energy grids, military infrastructure, and any anomalous readings from their cities. As Elia worked, Celia's mind churned. There was something else here, something beneath the surface of Earth's surprising defense. The humans had adapted in a way that didn't fit with the typical development of a young species. It was as if they'd been preparing for a war far beyond their time. Suddenly, an alert flashed across the command deck's holographic display. Elia's voice came through with an urgent tone. "Highness, I have found something, an anomaly deep within Earth's crust." Celia frowned. "Explain." Elia brought up the data on the display. "We've detected unusual energy signatures emanating from beneath the surface, particularly near their most developed cities. It's faint but consistent. Whatever it is, it's generating a massive amount of power, far more than their visible infrastructure could account for. Could it be the source of their gravitational manipulation?" Riken asked, leaning in to examine the readings. Elia nodded. "It's possible. The energy readings are unlike anything we've seen before. It's almost as if Earth has tapped into a hidden reservoir of power." Celia's eyes narrowed. "How long have they been hiding this from us?" "Years, perhaps decades," Elia said. "They've kept it so well concealed that it would have taken a direct attack to expose it." Chill ran down Celia's spine. Earth had been hiding not only their advanced defense systems, but an entirely new form of energy. This was no accident. They had anticipated this conflict long before the Shorian Empire even considered them a threat. Before Celia could respond, the ship's AI interrupted. "Incoming transmission from Earth. Commander Cole is requesting communication." Celia hesitated, then gestured for the transmission to go through. Cole's face appeared on the screen, as calm as ever. His piercing eyes met hers with the same unshakable confidence that had unnerved her before. "Princess Celia," he greeted, his voice measured. "I hope you now understand that Earth isn't as vulnerable as you thought." Celia's anger flared, but she kept her composure. "You've concealed your true strength well, Commander, but that will only delay the inevitable. The Shorian Empire will not back down." Cole's expression remained neutral. "Perhaps, but ask yourself this. Why would Earth, a planet so far removed from the center of the galaxy's power, go to such lengths to hide its military strength? We've spent decades observing, learning, and preparing, not just for your empire, but for the threats that lie beyond your understanding." Celia's heart skipped a beat. "What threats?" Cole leaned forward, his face taking on a serious tone. "The galaxy is vast, Princess, and the Shorian Empire isn't the only power out there. We've encountered signals from regions of space that even your empire has yet to explore. Earth has always been the quiet observer, but we've seen enough to know that we must be ready for what's coming. We won't fall to your empire or anyone else." Celia felt a surge of uncertainty. Was it possible that Earth had knowledge of dangers even the Shorian Empire was unaware of? The idea seemed absurd, but Cole's conviction left no room for doubt. "You're bluffing," Celia said, though the words lacked the force she intended. "Your hidden defenses might have surprised us, but they won't be enough to stop us." Cole smiled faintly. "Bluff or not, I invite you to test us again. But know this, if you continue this fight, you'll only expose your fleet to more of Earth's hidden capabilities. And each time, we'll be ready." The transmission cut out, leaving Celia standing in silence. For the first time since she had taken command of this mission, doubt began to creep into her thoughts. "Highness," Riken said quietly, "what are your orders?" Celia turned away from the display, her mind racing. Earth had proven far more dangerous than she'd anticipated, and if Cole's words were true, there were even greater threats looming in the galaxy. She had a decision to make: press forward and risk further losses, or retreat and reassess the situation. She took a deep breath. "We withdraw for now. I want the fleet to move to a secure distance and analyze every scrap of data we've gathered. We'll uncover the full extent of Earth's defenses before we make our next move." Riken nodded, clearly relieved by her decision. The Shorian fleet began its slow retreat, pulling back from Earth's atmosphere and into the depths of space. As Celia watched the planet grow smaller in the distance, one thought lingered in her mind. The humans had shown their strength, but what else were they hiding? And more importantly, what did they know that the Shorian Empire did not? Back on Earth, Commander Cole stood in the underground command bunker, watching the Shorian fleet retreat on the large monitor in front of him. Around him, the room buzzed with activity, but he remained focused, knowing that this was only the beginning. "Commander, the Shorian fleet is pulling back, just as you predicted," Lieutenant Sarah reported, her face tense but relieved. "Good," Cole said quietly, his expression unreadable. "That gives us time, but we're not done yet." The hidden defense systems that had repelled the Shorian forces had only been a small part of Earth's overall plan. For decades, humanity had prepared for such a moment, not just against the Shorian Empire, but for far greater dangers. The energy readings that Celia's fleet had detected were no anomaly. They were part of Earth's most guarded secret, the Nexus. Buried deep within the planet's crust, the Nexus was an ancient power source discovered by human scientists during an unprecedented geological expedition. What they found was far beyond anything they'd imagined. A massive energy field, seemingly not of this world, capable of powering cities, weapons, and defense systems that could rival the greatest galactic empires. It had been the key to Earth's silent rise in technological advancement. "Commander, we need to discuss our next move," General Adams said, walking up to Cole's side. "The Shorian Empire won't take this defeat lightly." Cole nodded. "We've bought ourselves some time, but they'll come back with a larger force. We need to ensure they don't uncover the full extent of the Nexus. If they realize what we're hiding down here, the entire galaxy will come after us." The general's face hardened. "So, do we reveal our trump card, or keep it hidden?" "Not yet," Cole replied, his voice calm. "We'll only use it if there's no other choice." Before Adams could respond, the room was filled with the soft hum of an incoming transmission. Cole turned toward the screen as a familiar face appeared. Dr. Elena Mirren, the lead scientist behind the Nexus project. "Commander, we've made some progress with the Nexus," Dr. Mirren said, her voice tight with urgency. "The energy readings are fluctuating more than usual, and we've detected something strange, something alive within the field." Cole frowned. "Alive? What do you mean?" Dr. Mirren hesitated. "We don't fully understand it yet, but the Nexus might not be just a power source. It could be sentient, or at the very least, reactive to our presence. We need more time to study it, but the readings are becoming unstable. If the Shorian Empire attacks again, and they push us too far, activating the Nexus could be risky." Cole's expression darkened. "Keep monitoring it, but don't take any drastic actions. We'll handle the Shorians for now." As the transmission ended, Cole turned back to Adams. "Prepare the defenses. If Celia comes back, we'll need to be ready." Meanwhile, aboard the Shorian command ship, Celia sat in her private chamber, her mind racing with the new information. Earth was hiding something far more powerful than she could have imagined. And she couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it than just technology. Elia entered the room, her face grim. "Highness, we finished analyzing the data from Earth. The energy readings are more than just a power source. They're tied to something deeper, something ancient." Celia's heart skipped a beat. "Ancient? Explain." Elia tapped her device, bringing up a holographic display. "We've detected traces of technology far older than anything Earth should possess. The energy signatures bear resemblance to the readings we found in the outer reaches of the galaxy, near the ruins of the Elder races." Celia's breath caught in her throat. The Elder races were a long-extinct civilization, rumored to have once controlled immense power. If Earth had somehow tapped into their technology, it would explain everything: the hidden defenses, the gravity manipulation, and the sudden surge in technological prowess. "This changes everything," Celia whispered. "If Earth has access to Elder technology, They're far more dangerous than we ever realized. We can't allow them to keep it. Elia nodded. We should prepare for a full-scale invasion. If we can seize control of this energy source, the Shorian Empire will gain power unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen. Celia stood, her resolve hardening. Begin the preparations. Earth's secrets won't remain hidden for long. Back on Earth, tensions were rising. Cole and his team knew that the Shorians would return, and this time it would be an all-out assault. Earth's defenses had been bolstered, but even with the Nexus, they couldn't hold off the full might of the Shorian Empire forever. Commander, we've received a signal from the Shorian fleet, Sarah said, her voice trembling. They're demanding our surrender, or they'll launch a planetary strike. Cole's face tightened. He knew this moment was coming. The Nexus was their only hope, but it wasn't fully understood. Using it could either save the planet or destroy it. We don't surrender, Cole said firmly. Activate the Nexus. It's time. Dr. Mirren's voice crackled over the comms. Commander, are you sure? The Nexus is still unstable. If we push it too far, we have no choice. Cole interrupted. Do it. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, the Nexus hummed to life. Energy surged through the planet, powering Earth's defense systems to their maximum capacity. But something else stirred within the Nexus, something ancient and alive, just as Dr. Mirren had feared. As the Shorian fleet moved into position, ready to unleash their full arsenal on Earth, the Nexus erupted with a blinding light. Massive energy beams shot into space, tearing through the Shorian ships like paper. The fleet was decimated in moments, their advanced technology powerless against the raw force of the Nexus. When the light faded, Earth stood victorious. The Shorian fleet was gone, and the planet's defenses had held. But as Cole stared at the monitor, he knew this wasn't the end. The Nexus, it's alive. Dr. Mirren's voice was filled with awe. It protected us, but I don't think we fully understand what we've awakened. Cole nodded slowly. We've survived this battle, but the galaxy will come looking for answers. And now, we're on their radar. General Adams approached. What's our next move, Commander? Cole turned to face him, a determined glint in his eyes. We prepare. Earth isn't just a backwater planet anymore. We're part of something bigger now. The Nexus is our responsibility, and we'll defend it from whatever comes next. As the remnants of the Shorian Empire scattered, news of Earth's hidden power began to spread throughout the galaxy. And while humanity had won this battle, they knew that greater challenges awaited. But for now, Earth stood strong, its hidden strength revealed, its people united, and its future uncertain but full of possibility. The little alien princess, Celia, had learned her lesson. Earth was no longer a planet to be underestimated. And as she drifted through space, her ship damaged but intact, she vowed to one day return, not as a conqueror, but as an ally.